Merry Christmas, everybody! Now, back to comparing Rudolph from Rankin Bass with Rudolph from Good Times. Now, in the former, Rudolph meets an elf who wants to be a dentist named Hermie. And they sing a good song in the unedited DVD version called We're a couple of misfits, we're a couple of misfits. What's the matter with misfits? That's where we fit in. But in a VHS version, a song known as Fame and Fortune takes its place. In the Good Times version, Rudolph meets an Arctic fox named Slyly, walking on his two back paws, and a polar bear named Leonard, who wears a hat. So anyway, in the Good Times movie, Slyly makes sure Rudy's not awake when sleeping, and of course, you guessed it, he grabs the teddy bear and sleeps like a baby. Oddly enough, Rudolph is cool with that. He just goes back to sleep and smiling. In the Rankin Bass version, Rudolph and Hermie meet a human named Yukon Cornelius, who is in search for gold, but can't make up his mind between gold or silver. But then the abominable snowman keeps coming, and Rudolph says, "It's my nose. It keeps giving us away." And believe me, you do not want to run into the abominable snowman. Well, the snowman's name is Bumble.
Oh.
Yeah, and anyway, in the Good Times version, Rudolph is out here on her own without a trace, looking. No! Ah! Zoe, the reindeer, is out on her own looking for her boyfriend. Sorry, folks. But then she runs into Stormella's predatory ice wolves. But then Stormella goes, naughty, naughty, naughty. And meanwhile, Rudolph and Slyly are laying low because Leonard invited them into his cave because Rudolph told him that they were cold, hungry, nowhere to sleep for the night. All honest and such. But then, of course, if you've seen the movie, Rudolph has those dreams and flashbacks about never being a flyer or being called a red-nosed reject. If you've seen Bambi get called princess, or heard it to say the least, then that's how bad things are in the Rankin Bass and Good Times movies. You know how Blitzen said that nose of Rudolph's was an accident? He meant it out of defense. Not offense. Defense, offense. Then, of course, Aurora, Sparkle, Glitter, and Twinkle, 4 sprites, tell Rudolph that Zoe is in danger and that it's up to him to save his doe friend. In the Rankin Bass version, Hermie and Cornelius set sail on an iceberg and travel to, you guessed it, an isle of misfit toys. For example, a toy shoots condiments instead of water. And a choo-choo train has square wheels on its caboose. And there's a boat who can't stay afloat. He even stutters it himself. And a spotted elephant. There's also a movie called the Isle of Misfit Toys from 2001. Anyway, Rudolph and Fred stay the night, but Rudolph decides that he's gotta go about this on his own. And something magical happens. His antlers grow. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Donner, Rudolph's RB father, thinks about how coldly he's treated Rudolph in the past, saying, Blitzen and even the Great Prince would have done better than me. At least I think that's what he's saying. But Mrs. Donner wants to go out and help the original Donner find Rudolph. But the latter says, no, this is a man's job. In the Good Times version, Rudolph and Zoe tell their feelings for each other because they possibly get Twitter pated. As heard from Gren Dowell in the original Bambi, 1942. But then Stormella sings a song and quotes that she resents Santa Claus. Which, ouch! And then, of course, Rudolph and his friends battle, but then Stormella puts the convenient foggy, world-round foggy weather, like in the song. But then Rudolph, the point is, Stormella then starts to get blind and almost falls, but Rudolph says, grab onto my horns and I'll pull you up. And Stormella does as she's told, and in return, Rudy's granted a wish. But instead of a black normal snout, guess what he chooses? And I quote, I want you to be nice. And then Stormella says, something, make me nice. This and that. I can't really remember. And then she looks at her penguin butler. I'm sorry if I didn't mention this in the previous part of the review. But then she says, ooh, cute penguin. In the Rankin Bass version, Rudolph fights off the Bumble who's chewing on his Rankin Bass dough, Clarice. He even says, put her down! Like a real stag. And then one fight later, Yukon comes to the rescue and him and Bumble, they blank off a blank, to say the least. Yeah. And Rudolph says, he's gone, but there's a catch. Bumbles bounce. That's right, they bounce. In the Good Times version, everyone is more happy to see Zoe than Rudy, but Rudy's parents are too happy to see Rudolph return to get angry. Because Rudolph even says, my apologies if I worried you. And Blitzen just hugs him. Aww. Like any good father would do. That's how strong our bond is, like glue, honey, or melted cheese. And because of Rudolph's courage, he earns a Medal of Valor, of which I have a metallic crayon now. Matter of fact, 24. Blitzen then expresses his pride before Rudolph's first sleigh ride with him and a team. And guess what Zoe does? Lips to cheek. Which I find kind of funny since Reindeer usually lick instead of lips. But, that's good too. In the Rankin Bass version, Donner apologizes to Rudolph, and Head Elf apologizes to Hermie, saying that, and I quote, "You may start at dentist's office next week after Christmas." And then Hermie says, "Come here, open your mouth." And then he checks inside the chief's mouth and says, "Oh, you're going to need an appointment a week from Tuesday. 4:30 sharp." And of course, the Bumble is toothless now because Cornelius won. And Bumble puts the star on top of the tree in like one go. And he doesn't even need a stepladder. Period. And like the Good Times version, Rudolph gets to guide the sleigh. So Santa says, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" And Rudolph, of course, says, "With honor, Your Honor." For those of you who like that, please comment below. Anyway, everyone is so happy and they love Rudolph because they've made it through the night, to say the least, in both versions. So now on to final results. Where am I placing Rankin Bass versus Good Times Rudolph on the scale? I'm gonna have to say both are tied, like neutral good each. Because both stories kind of relate to the song, but there are different love interests for Rudolph. Whichever version you grew up with, please comment below. Anyway, it's nice to experience from Rudolph having different fathers and mothers. But I steer closer to Blitzen being the dad. Mainly because Blitzen's more caring, doesn't even hide the nose, just hopes for the best. More gentle on Rudolph. If you like Rudolph with brown or blonde hair, please let me know in the comments too. Pause, please. And now, here is a wholesome song to cap the whole thing up.
Where is a mangy or pet? If you saw him, I bet you'd
Walk the other way.
so sad and alone, with his hair overgrown, like a stinky old toupee.
This is Benny's song.
But
Doggies have feelings.
and doggies need love.
Oh, you love you, Benny.
And doggies like those deep fried treats that come from up above.
Oh, donuts for Benny.
Please give
A place to make him smile.
take your hand.
For troubled beast, won't you at least comfort him a while? Donut for Benny.
Please
Help my doggy friend.
thank you, kind sir.
A honey dip would really help his broken hearts to mend. His broken hearts to mend.
Well, just look at this pup. He's brightening up. Oh, he's looking not so weak. Oh, his outlook was grim.
So
Till you
grim.
made pastries to him. Oh, look.
He wants to speak. Oh, doggies have feelings. Doggies need love. Doggies like eat only treats that come from up above. And doggies love. Doggies like the wee trees that come from above. Please be sure to give Rudolph a big hug for me. And like, subscribe, comment, and share the video. That too. All done.